Yeah, hello all. Good evening. So, can you guys hear me? Please confirm in the chat. Thanks for joining, by the way. One sec. Let me enable the chat. Okay. Yeah, thanks for confirming. So, let's wait for a couple of more minutes for people to join and we'll start the demo session. Yeah, I guess we can start the session. So, yeah, hello all once again, and thanks for joining the session, by the way. And this will be a demo session for the batch 240, and it is for Linux administrator. And I will be the instructor who will be leading this training. Okay. So, so there is a basic instructions that it is a general information that the first three sessions it will be a free demo session, and the fourth session will be shared only to the paid candidates, and it is a paid session, by the way. For from the fourth session, if you are fine with my way of training. And Yeah, so there is a WhatsApp group link. So let me put it in the chat. Second. Yeah. So this slides also will be shared, or you can join this WhatsApp group. So if you click on join, it will be directly redirecting you to that group. So why WhatsApp? In the sense that is where we will be communicating, like if there is no session on that day or any communication related to the session will be shared to that WhatsApp group only. So please do join that WhatsApp group if you are already not there. And so it is like we are using Graphy as a web portal. So any recordings or any notes, everything will be shared only through Graphy, not Google Drive and so. So yeah, and so this is the support team availability timing, like Monday to Saturday between 9 to 7 p.m. IST. Okay, so yeah, yeah, Michael, you are unmuted. I guess you raised your hand.
Yes, Kati. Good morning.
Yeah,
That's good.
good morning. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm well. I
Uh-huh.
mean, uh, what happened last time? We we started the class, and it seems
Okay, so actually there is no enrollment, right? So last time, so that's the reason, like, yeah, we didn't proceed it further. So this time, since we are doing only the weekend batches, we hope people would join. So yeah, you're fine with weekend, Michael? Like only on weekends?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm good at any time. I was just like, hold on, because now my what will happen, because I bought the course, and I had to request for a refund. But again, that course is still existing in my course portal.
Uh-huh.
When I buy this one, will that one be removed, or is going to stick to that account?
So you did bought the
Yeah, yeah,
previous course, is it? Oh, okay.
yeah. I bought it, and we had like 3 sessions, and that was it. And we
Okay.
had a message telling me that the course has been cancelled. So if
Can you
if I buy
drop
this
an
way,
email to this mail ID, Michael? I will also put a word to the support team because
okay.
even I am not sure what they will be like. Obviously, if you're already paid, you will be added to this course as a student, and this course, all the videos will be available to you. I will put a word to them, Michael. If possible, can you drop a message to me one-on-one, your mail
Yes.
ID, so that it will be easy for me to
Yeah.
inform them?
Yeah. Can you give me your email or your phone number, or
Um,
which one?
okay, just a sec. Let me see if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Just so you know, they reached out to me, and said I should request for a refund, which I did.
Uh-huh.
So the refund has been made, but now I'm in this class. It means I have to buy this course. When I buy this course, is going to be two red hat courses in my course card. um I mean, that is too much noise, right? Probably the one that was recalled need to be removed because it's still standing there. I don't
Got
want it
it.
to.
Yeah. So there is some miscommunication and some issue with the team. So we'll check with them, Michael. So don't worry about that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's easy if you send me your email, and I will tag you and them, so this can
Sure.
be.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Just a sec. Let me try to chat with you. And okay.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. So you can, I just sent you in chat, I sent my mail ID. So you can drop a mail to me. I will request the team to check further. Okay. So yeah.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. So moving on. Yeah. So this is the batch number 240. And so a little bit about myself. So Karthik here. So I done my RHCSA certification and currently working as a platform engineer in one of the MNCs, and currently handling at least around more than 8,000 actually. So I need to edit this one actually. But yeah, so as a server admin as well as a platform engineer. So and so there would be a question that many, if you're not familiar, what is Red Hat or who is Red Hat in general? So it is a very big MNC which is currently owned by IBM, and they bought it recently, like 2018, I guess. And what is Red Hat is like Red Hat has a suite of applications, as well as they own a lot of good applications as well, especially for automation and stuff. And they have their own cloud service provider like OpenShift, and they have a lot of automation tools. Like mostly, many would already know Ansible. So Red Hat owns Ansible actually. So yeah, so these many. So you can go to this site as well. So they started in early stages, like around late 1990s, and sooner like uh, they created their own reputation by providing a great support to the enterprise. So, and their main target is enterprise, which is nothing but all the companies which is having a server side, and they're lacking a lot of support, right? So because those days it was a bit hard to support a server, and it is a bit costly as well. So they provided a good service, and the reputation still stands. And that's the basic overview about Red Hat and why they are still relevant, and why still they are the market leader when it comes to enterprise operating system. Why? Because we need to take a deep dive in why Linux is still relevant, right? So because Red Hat is based on Linux operating system, and like they are not the one who founded Linux, right? So Linux has been found way before them, and since it is an open source, they use that kernel, open source kernel, which is found by Linus Torvald, and they made their own customized or alteration to that kernel, and made it uh, enterprise friendly, right? And they have a huge team of support, which is that's the main reason they are still existing, because there is a lot of companies which arrived during those days, and they faded away, or they become a legacy operating system now. Rather, Red Hat is still holding, and it is a very hugely valuable company now. So that's also the thing. And like, what is Linux now? Right? So Linux is an open source operating system, as many might already know that. And the the competitor to Linux is Windows, and even Mac OS is using a Linux-based operating system only. So there is only two operating system in existence, which is Linux and Windows. So both work in different way, right? So they have their own way of approach to a to, let's say, a simple operation, to a major like a complex things, like let's say creating a keyframe in a, like, let's say you're editing a video or something. So it needs some different different instruction set or something. But that's what, like, Windows work in a different way, Linux in a different way. But yeah, so that's how it is constructed. And so coming back to this question, so why Red Hat is still relevant is, as I told, they had the reputation for quite some time, and companies do prefer that level of support. And their certification, right? So RHCSA. So that is what we are gathered for the day. So our training will be revolving around the certification, which is RHCSA, which is full form Red Hat Certified system administrator. Okay, so yeah, so so this certificate has its own credibility in the industry, right? So if you are having this certification, so and there are many Linux based like foundational level certifications like LFCS is there, and uh, like a CompTIA certificate is there. So a lot of it is there, but this has its own benefit. Why? Because it is a practical exam, and if you're not, it is not an MCQ based, right? So if you don't know how to approach that question, so you can't answer it further, and many questions rely on the previous question. So if you don't do the basic, let's say, if you don't do the network setup, you can't proceed further with the next question. Or there will be at least 10 questions based on that server. So you can't proceed further, right? So it's that critical and very, very important exam, especially for a sysadmin. So if you have this certificate, it has its own credibility in your resume and in your profile. And it's good as well. Okay, so yeah, so this is the flow which we will be following. So for that, yeah. So why this certificate? As I told, the the syllabus or everything which we will be covering in this demo session. So all this, if you see the topics itself, it will be more than enough for like as a basic or entry level Linux admin. This is what you will be working on. So everything is at least till L2 level, not the exact L2 level, but till that it will be covered. So from a beginner to intermediate level, this certificate or the knowledge which you gain through this certificate or this course, that itself is more than enough for a Linux admin, right? So that's very important. And that's what, like if you see, so this is a generic one which is applicable even for a Windows server administrator as well. But yeah, this is what we will be covering in a nutshell, like user management, which is very, very important as a sysadmin. And it is one of the gray area where people used to think that, okay, it is very, very basics that we should literally avoid it, or some companies do that as well. But that's where we need to optimize few things, and we can create uh, like a secure environment for the clients as well, right? So if you're in a service-based company, so if you create that environment, that's good for everyone, right? So that's what, like user management is very, very important. And disk management, obviously, as a end user or as a typical user, we will avoid managing the disk further, right? Like we will be piling up everything in a single partition and we'll keep it like that, which is totally fine. But when it comes to enterprise, your data is money, and your hard disk is a lot, is one of the huge like you should finance that a lot, since it will be easily used, or it will be easily consumed a lot. So disk management is one of the critical element in any infra level, right? So that's very, very important topic actually, disk management. And process management. As a sysadmin, you must understand what is a process flow and how to identify an issue and troubleshoot it, right? So if there is a stale process, or if there is something went wrong with that process, that ongoing process, you should be in a position to analyze or observe that, and uh, make sure it is not reoccurring again in the future, right? So that is your process management. And we'll see, we will dwell too deep into that. Okay, so it would take at least 2 to 3 sessions only on process management and the server troubleshooting. So let's say if there is a server went down, or if there is any network issue, so since like we are not talking in a volume of let's say 10 servers, which a single guy can handle. We are talking in a volume of thousands of servers, right? So in that case, obviously there will be some issue in at least one of the server within 1 hour, right? So you should be in a position to, or there will be a monitoring system or monitoring tool. So there are many monitoring tool in the market, but I will try to show you some like a New Relic or Grafana. So any one of these tool I will try to show you. So these are all open source, by the way. So Dynatrace is also a good tool, but it is not open source. So it is only having a trial of 60 days. So yeah, I will try to show you one of these monitoring tools, how to integrate with our system, okay, and how to troubleshoot if there is any disk spike or if there is any CPU spike. We will see that in the troubleshooting part, okay. And lastly, it is basic networking. And why I mentioned as basic is networking itself is a separate topic or separate subject altogether. So that's what like the networking which is required only for a sysadmin, like how to configure it. I'll be showing you like the specific configuration file to like to set up the static IP, so to set up the route, right? So those things we'll be seeing in the networking. So yeah, just a sec. Let me show you the exams page. Yeah. So firstly, we will see this one and we'll move on to the syllabus part. So our syllabus is also literally it is the same of the this objectives which you see here. Our syllabus is built on top of this one only. So all if you understood or if you're having interest to proceed further with this path, you will be eligible for many roles, which we'll be seeing in a moment after the syllabus. But yeah, I will be sending this link in the chat as well, so that you can see yourself that okay, this is what we will be covering. And yeah, so there is no prerequisite for this certification. So you can see here, but it is not a prerequisite. Okay, so if you are already having these two certificate, it's fine. Easily you can easily crack this certificate. And no fame, if I'm spelling your name right. So this is not, there is no Ansible here. So this is only for beginner and intermediate on Linux only. So not Ansible we will be seeing. So Ansible will be covered in RHCE. Okay, so which is Red Hat Certified Engineer. So in this syllabus, you can't like there is no Ansible. Actually. Yeah. So the exam fees also I will try to show you in last of the session. So okay, so let's see the syllabus part. So the first thing we'll be seeing is obviously the introduction of the operating system. So I mentioned RHEL 8. So it currently it is RHEL 9.2. So so 9 or 8 or 9, it's almost same. So only few user interface or stuff, it has been changed. So we will see that as well. So what is the difference between RHEL 7, 8, and 9? Okay, so there is not major changes between 8 and 9, but 7 to 8, there is a lot of changes. Okay, and the basic or essential commands. So commands in the sense, obviously, many might already know that Linux is based on a CLI, which is, so there are two types of interfaces, GUI and CLI. Just give me 2 minutes, sorry, few minutes, guys. So once I completed the syllabus, I'll be answering your questions. So the GUI is graphical user interface and CLI is command line interface. Okay, so what is the difference between these two, right? So GUI is whatever you are seeing right now. So which is we are interacting with the machine using the keyboard and the cursor, right? And there is a lot of icons and we can click that and we can navigate. right? So that is what GUI. And how about CLI? So CLI is nothing but your command prompt. In your Windows, you have this command prompt, right? So you can type, but you can't double click. So you can double click, but you can't just drag and drop or do anything on that, right? So you should one if you know the right commands, only you can navigate or at least work on this CLI, right? So that is what command line interface. So only if you know the commands, you can at least work on it. So previously, like in MS-DOS, those times there is only CLI because GUI was not there at first. So yeah, so GUI it is preferred in few of the servers or few instance, and Red Hat also has their own GUI, obviously, but most companies don't prefer GUI for many reasons, and yeah, even actually CLI has a lot of benefits, but many people do like bit afraid about CLI because you need to type a lot of commands. Obviously, at first everyone would be thinking that, but it is having a lot of benefits. So we will see those things as well. But those two are the difference, by the way. And so moving on. So that's what like Linux commands, right? So we will be at least seeing 150 to 200 commands. So don't be overwhelmed about the number. So a lot of commands, actually there is around 2000 plus commands are there, but you will be seeing few, which is the relevant one. Okay, so yeah. And in the next session, I'll be showing you how to install the RHEL instance in VMware, which is your local machine, as well as your AWS instance. Okay. And the monitoring. So monitoring, I will try to show you at the last how to install or initiate that monitoring solution. Like one of the monitoring tool we'll be installing in our system, and the dashboard we can see, or we can monitor the if there is a spike in your any components like your task manager, right? So like this we'll be seeing. So moving on, so these are all the user management. So typically there is a lot of things we will be covering in the user management, as since it is a beginner friendly session, right? So you should understand or dwell too deep into how the basic things works, right? So if you understand these things, easily you can work on, because some training it will be directly they will be doing the disk management. Obviously we can also do that, but right away if you do that you don't have the exposure and you might make something wrong, right? So some commands there would be an issue. So obviously we won't use the same commands for the disk management, but if you should at least understand the flow how it works, right? So for that we'll be having like at least 3 to 4 sessions on user management. And yeah, so like the basic user management, like create, delete, modify, changing the password, and you should at least know these all. So in your exam, they won't ask you to reset the password, but yeah, we will be covering these as well, and how the super user works, right? So super user is nothing but your admin privilege. So in your enterprise for your Windows also, some companies you can't execute some executable file. It will throw that type the user ID and password, or you don't have admin rights like that. You have some warnings or pop-ups, right? So that is there is a restriction for only the admin can perform some tasks, and a typical user can't. Or a local user can't, right? So those kind of things you can perform, or it is a bit more functional in Linux than Windows. So you will see those things in super user access and all, right? So so moving on. So these are all the basic OS concepts, like the essential tools like copy, move commands. So these kind of basic file manipulation commands, and so like how to extract or search for a file in a, search for a text file, a search query or anything, right? So all these we'll be seeing in the fourth or fifth session, okay? And how to access the server remotely, right? So why this is very, very important, right? Because in your work environment, obviously the server won't be, or you won't be having direct access to the server. The server will be located somewhere in, let's say, uh, Germany or any location, right? So it will be located somewhere. So using the internet, it will, like, or using your company's VPN, you will be routing to that server. So obviously there would be connectivity, but you should know how to how the SSH connection or that SSH works, right? So SSH full form is secure shell, and how it works will be uh, like I'll try to explain it to bit further on that in the sessions. Okay. And so these are all the basic things like how the archiving works and compression of the old logs and all. So as a sysadmin, this is very, very important because easily your logs will be piling up because the logs are not only for a per day, right? So it is for the 24 bar 7 and for the whole year, it will be continuously, it will be adding those logs. The log can be of anything like user logs, application log, any log, right? So it is a log, it consumes a lot of data, as I told. So data is very crucial, especially in infra side, right? So you are the one who will be compressing it and pushing it to uh, like a tape drive or some other low cost drives, which is like used only for archive, right? So yeah. And the next one is your file permissions. So what are all the permissions which will be? This permissions, again, we take it granted in your Windows, whereas in Linux, it's right away you will be used to this permissions and it's very like secure. See? So moving on, so the system admin activities. So these are all like as a sysadmin, what and all you will be doing, like monitoring a process. And typical system admin must understand how these all works. And yeah, so you need to interrupt the boot process. Okay, so in next session or in upcoming session, we'll be seeing the booting procedure. Okay, so and how to interrupt the booting procedure and gain to the system access or there is one more emergency mode it is called as. So in that mode, how to reset the password or how to remove a file. So those things we'll be seeing and how to identify if there is any spike in your CPU or memory usage. And if there is one thing called as a zombie process, so how to kill that. A lot of things we will be seeing in these sections. So these are all comes under your process management. Okay, and how to locate and interpret system logs and journal logs. Okay, so this is very, very important, especially for a sysadmin. How to interpret your log because there is a lot of logs in, as I told. So there is at least 7 to 8 types of logs will be there. So how would you interpret that? So let's say if there is any reboot happen, so logs are the only mode of understanding that okay, what went wrong during that particular time. Obviously, we can't go back in time and see that, right? So only logs are the one. Like if you want to do the root cause analysis, logs are the only thing. So we should preserve that at any cost, and you should be having a knowledge to how to identify which timeline or which what went wrong at that time. So if there is any hardware issue or software issue, or literally there is some issue with the server itself, right? So we need to check that. So those things we'll be seeing, and these are all like basic uh, status check or the how to start and stop off. I mentioned as network service, so you can it's literally applicable for any services, right? So we'll be seeing that, and mainly how to transfer a file between two or any servers, right? So you can transfer via many methods. So you'll be seeing that. So the next important one is your disk management. So disk management, as I told, the main thing is it is called as LVM, which is logical volume management. Okay, so this one, and so your base operating system itself will be on top of this LVM concept. So you'll be seeing too deep into how it works and how to understand this topic, because it's a very crucial one, and every company literally uses this one. And LVM concept is not only for Red Hat. So that's the point. So it is applicable for any Linux-based operating system. Okay, so yeah, how to format it and how to manipulate the LVM, how to create, extend, remove, everything will be covering in this section. And these strategies and video is the advanced topic of LVM. Okay, and moving on, so how the security part. So obviously everyone would know that Linux, it's not a cliche quote, but obviously there is not much hacker or any malware creator for uh, Linux, right? So because Windows is easy to penetrate rather than Linux, and they are not ready to create it as well, because easily it can be quarantined, right? So that's how powerful or secure it is. So that's what in any production servers, there will be much more security in place, there would be a only key based authentication for few servers, and for mission critical servers it will be much more security will be in place. So we'll be seeing those, and how to introduce a firewall to your mission, and how to change your file permission, in a sense only you can access that, all those things. And your SC Linux, so SC Linux is secure Linux. It is a separate topic and very, very important one. So we'll be seeing this extensively, how the context works. And so the last one in the security is, yeah, like how to restrict a user to use only the specific commands. Like uh, there is a thing called as shell. So that is where you will be interacting with the machine, or that is your command line interface, as I told, right? So the shell is the underlying part of that. So we will be restricting which shell that user is using, and um, which what all command can be executed by that guy. So those things we'll be seeing in this security part. And your basic networking, as I told, how to configure the IP, host name, route, and how to restart the network services, how to add the host entries. So all those, obviously, those knowledge is more than enough for us entry level sysadmin, right? So because they won't right away ask you to configure a separate network, a suite of network protocols or something, right? So obviously no one would ask you to do that right away. So you should understand at least, so for this course, this knowledge is more than enough in terms of network. Okay, so yeah. And at last, so we will be covering containers as well. So many might already know a container, or you might heard a Docker, right? So if you are a bit fond of DevOps, or if you're having understanding of DevOps, so you might have came across a term called as Docker. And so Docker is a container solution for many companies are using Docker. So we will see that, but Red Hat has their own solution for containers, which is called as Podman, which is like 85% more or less Docker. Okay, so it is almost Docker only. So we'll be seeing that, and how to configure that, how to create a service out of that container. So you'll be seeing the basics of like Podman or a container service. So you can even mention this in your resume as well. And lastly, your VMware vSphere. So we have two VMwares, which is Workstation and vSphere. So vSphere is the one which will be used in your work environment. Workstation is what we will be using in our mission, right? So, or it is just for the end users like us. So that layout, or you can't expect the same setup in your work environment. So I'll be showing you this one because this uh, requires, or this will be running only in a personal computer, not in some few laptops only. It will work because it is only so the hardware requirement is a bit restricted. So few laptops only does work. So anyhow, I'll be giving you this ISO so you can try it yourself. If it is working, it's great. If not, you can see my recording and we can understand it. Obviously, it is the same setup or same options only will be there, but the issue is that it will be throwing you some error if you start running that because there is a hardware requirement which will your laptop might lack. Okay, so that's the reason. So with that, syllabus are done. So yeah. So any doubts now you can ask. In the meantime, I'll show you something. Okay, no problem. So what is the procedure for recertification? Okay, so recertification in the sense, so you're already attended the RHCSA certificate out loud. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. So did you tried attending the exam already? But if you want the procedure, so you can, so actually you need to pay again for the recertification and sorry, again for the certificate. I'm not sure it is not the full amount like your AWS. So you can pay only the 50%, I guess. So yeah. So RHCE, yeah, Sairam. So in future, yeah, I will. But as of now, only RHCSA we are targeting. And this session will be about only the beginner to intermediate level. Okay, so there won't be any Ansible cover because RHCE is fully, at least 85% it is Ansible only. Uh, so do we need to have any knowledge in before joining this? No, Naseem. So you need not have any basic knowledge also in Linux because we'll be covering from the basics to everything. Okay, so don't worry about that. And yeah, so okay, so that's what I was about to cover. So thanks for bringing that up. So if you are pursuing this certificate or this part as a Linux admin, right? So let's say you are pursuing this Linux admin part. So once you're done with this one, so what and all um, positions you are eligible for, right? So our first thing is obviously system administrator, and then system admin in the sense, obviously directly you will be eligible for a Linux admin. And if you are a certified administrator, it will be much more, you will have much more visibility in your resume or in your, uh, like let's say job portals, right? So that's the one. And you can pursue sysadmin, first thing. And the next one is system engineer. So what is the difference between admin and engineer is, so you will be the one designing the infra as well. So you will be the one providing the like this much CPU cores are required for this many applications also because there might be a cluster environment. So it is bit advanced level of role, but So first thing you can aim for, or if you will be eligible for this role, and next one is it will be opening a path to system engineer, and after that you can do, or you will be eligible for DevOps engineer. So DevOps is not a buzzword, or it's already been adopted in almost like 70 to 80% of the companies, and DevOps is nothing but a very good and advanced level of your agile, right? So DevOps is far better, and many companies, as I told, already adopted it. So you are eligible for that. And after DevOps, you can pursue SRE, Site Reliability Engineer or Service Reliability Engineer. Okay, so you can you can pursue that as well. So which is like an advanced version of DevOps, which will cover even observability and much more like reliability. So not it is not, there is no issue in creating an infra. Anyone can create an infra. You should create an infra in the sense it should be available, and there should be very less toil. Means like you should create an automation in the sense to reduce a mundane tasks, right? So that's what SRE will do in a daily basis. So it's like the last level of your learning path. So you will start here, and so you can even include the one which I am currently working on, which is platform engineer. So platform engineer in the sense you will have another responsibilities like maintaining some applications as well, and doing some your system admin tasks. So it will be a combination of both, and you can experiment SRE in your platform engineer as well. So it covers almost everything, right? So that's what it is, a sweet spot between all these roles, but yeah, so it depends. Okay, can we work as not right away, Michael? So uh, first thing, right away you can work as a sysadmin, or you can apply for sysadmins once our sessions are over. So for sure, because we will be covering almost everything, right? So that's what you will be doing on a daily basis. So it is not some advanced level thing. So we will be covering almost everything as a business as usual tasks which we'll be doing as a sysadmin, right? So you'll be covering those, but right away you can't do as a per platform engineer, right? So yeah, so yeah, Michael. So that's the URL for the exam. Okay, so yeah, Michael, that's a good question. So this is the one, and so the duration is of 4 weeks, and each session is of 2 hours. So it is like Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours each day. So which is like each week it is 4 hours. So 4 weeks it will be extended to 5 weeks as well, based on how many questions you are asking. So yeah. So if you ask more questions, the session will extend. But that's what I also need, because you should ask a lot of questions like Michael. So yeah, I have a live example as Michael here. So okay, so job interviews, right? So every now and then, if there is a topic, okay, so that is a good question, Naseem. So let's say, almost every companies, as I told, containers are not the futures. Almost every company is already adopted containers as well. So some companies in interviews in level, sorry, in first interview itself, they might ask, okay, since you mentioned container in your resume, they might ask some questions. So I will give you some questions while I give the topics, right? So I will give you some questions, or I will give some hint like, okay, this will be asked in your interviews. Okay, so yeah, if I do already have a PDF, so and that will also will be included in this drive link. So you just type So this is the link. Okay, so if you go to this link, so bit.ly Linux LL. So if you enter this, so that is a URL shortener. Okay, so it will redirect to this link. So this is where almost every important like, so why Google Drive? Since I mentioned Graphy at the first, right? So in Graphy, it is limited data only you can upload. So since I uploaded my ISO itself here, so we are using Drive, and this Drive link won't be changed. Okay, so yeah, so please do. So you need not remember this whole link. Obviously, no one can. So just remember this shortener, like the link which I pasted in the chat right now. So yeah, okay. So this link, you just bookmark it. So anything related to our course, it is already mentioned here. So if there is any more notes or any interview questions, I'll be posting it here. Okay. So yeah. And so I didn't created a URL shortener for this one. So this is the course link. Yeah. So totally it will be around 20 hours to 25 hours. Depends on how much questions you are asking. So yeah, at least 20 hours it will be our sessions, and it can extend till 22 or 24 hours. Okay. And okay, so is it Michael? So there is no EX400, by the way. Only EX200 is there. So, okay, coming back to the exams price. So the exam price is around, in US dollars, it is $150. Okay, so yeah. So it is $150, and in Indian rupees, it is around 20K, 20,000 it is. And if there is any reimbursement in your company, please do avail that. Okay, so even I done my exams like that. So yeah, and it is an official certificate, by the way. So obviously there is like, and how to schedule the exam. So so there is a process, because you can't schedule yourself. So if you press on this get started, it will ask you to log in. Yeah, so it will ask you to log into the um, sorry, yeah, it will ask you to log into the Red Hat site. And yeah, so you see, this is the price excluding the GST. So including the GST, it is the GST itself is like 18%, right? So around 20K, like 19,500 or something it will be. And the exam is of 3 hours, and it is a proctor based, and you can write from your home as well. So I did attend the exam from remote only. So it is very easy and straightforward exam, and you can't schedule exam for yourself, so you need to reach out to one of these learning institutes. Okay, so and Logic Labs is not an official partner of this one, by the way. So you need to, so let's say, let me select India here, right? So you can reach out to any one of this institute and ask them to schedule the exam. Okay, so they will ask you to okay, do you need some training? They might ask. So obviously, you are already if you're joining the session, you will be trained here, right? So you need not join that training. Okay, so you just ask them to schedule on your behalf, because right away you can't schedule yourself. So that's how Red Hat designed their exam scheduling one. So yeah, you can reach out to any one of these institutes. And same thing goes for your any one of your countries. So you can reach out to that institute and they will schedule on your behalf. Okay, so yeah, and this link. So if you want, you can enroll to our logic this session using this link, and yeah, and this is the course fee, by the way. So in USD it is like 48 or $50, and in INR it is 4K. And you can reach out to these support numbers or groups. Sorry, support number and this mail ID if you are having any issue while paying for the session. Okay, and only for the paid candidates, the Zoom links for after the fourth session it will be provided. Okay, and this drive link is already in this PPT, so you can click here as well. So it will redirect to the same link. And yeah, so is there any more doubts? And so again, so this is a beginner and intermediate level of training. So that's very, very important. Okay, so you can't expect a lot of things in the same course. So yeah, sure, sir. Just a sec. Yeah, yeah, you are unmuted, sir. I guess you can unmute yourself.
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. We can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah. Sir, actually, right now I'm working in this. I'm on MNC actually. So right, yeah, actually my domain is totally different now. Before that, right now I'm just switched to another company. So in this company, I'm just playing operation side. So daily I'm working with so many 50,000, around 50,000 servers actually. So I'm into this actual Linux, all these CentOS actually. So my team is asked to just learn this course or CSCA. So right now you are explaining about all the course details, right? So daily basis I'm just see this every day. What is the sometimes you are facing some login issues, SSHs.
Yeah, basic operation
Also,
stuff. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, got it, got it.
and SSH issues, and sometimes you are facing memory issue, and sometimes disk issues also. Everything you covered almost. So, and I have after I join this course, I will let you know one by one what I just got the
Sure,
alert.
sure.
And
Or, okay, so yes, I sorry to interrupt. So, if you're already in a position or already working, so you can, if you're fine, you can go with the self-paced or already there is a recording, okay, of the same course. So it is my previous batch only. So
yes,
you
yes.
can
Actually,
go
already
through that.
your administration staff also, but they said
Mm-hmm.
actually we have to attend the class only. After that, only we share the videos.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So, and can I get the notes also for this one? Running notes like that? Only videos. Only.
No, notes, everything will be provided, Sai. So don't worry about that. Every notes and my putty log also will be sent to you. A
Okay.
log, everything. Okay, so and the history of whatever commands which I'm typing, right?
Hmm.
I'll be sending the putty log history as well as the whatever will be covered on that day, right? So it will be sent to you. So don't worry about those things.
Okay. So I'm not sure it is good or not to ask this. Actually, right now we are using the
Mm-hmm.
monitoring tool Grafana actually. So is there any possibility to work on this one in these sessions? To let me Grafana.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
you mentioned a
Grafana,
new relic Grafana, right?
yeah. Even in my company, we are using that.
Huh.
So Grafana, I will yeah, we will cover Grafana at the last if you don't mind.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay, so we will cover all the topics, and at last we will have some time. We will do that. So that will be informative for everyone who are joining the session as well. So because it's a real-time question you're asking, right?
Yes,
So for sure, we will cover that, Dasai. No issues on that.
yes. Thank you, Kathi.
Yeah, no problem. So, Omkar, okay, so Omkar, it's weekend batch. Yeah, Omkar. So it is a weekend batch. So only on Saturday and Sunday, and it is of each day it is 2 hours. So in weekly basis, it is of 4 hours per week. Okay, so sure, Michael. Actually, there is some issue with the support team, so I will check with them for sure, Michael. So hope you dropped a mail to me, so I will reach out to them right away after the session. If you are having any issues, you can we will sort it out. Okay. So yeah. So please do drop a mail to me, Michael, so that I get your mail ID as well, so that I will include you in that mail. So after the session also you can drop a mail to me, so no issues on that. So yeah, so that's what, as I told, that these all the topics will be covered in the session. And yeah, so it will be a start of your learning path, especially in Linux or in operation side. So it is not only operations. So obviously after that you will be moving on to platform engineer, or you'll be eligible for that. Why? Because like almost every DevOps tools, there is a lot of DevOps tools. So let me bring the image of that. So it will be huge number of tools are there. So obviously no one can work on all the tools, but yeah, this one. So you see a lot of tools are there, and each phase, each tools are, so these many tools are there for each phase. So why Linux is baseline for almost every tool is all these tools have a common thing is CLI, which is command line interface, and especially your Linux commands or basics of Linux, which we will be covering in our session, right? So that's what is that knowledge is what will be used in almost every tool. So that's what, if you are understood, or if you are in a like if you are interested in Linux, easily you can understand all these tools, right? So because not every company will be using the GUI for each and every tool as well. Whatever you see here. So Dynatrace, obviously it is a monitoring tool. There will be a GUI for sure. So yeah, so few tools we will be using CLI only. So that's what, like Kubernetes, Docker, Git. So many tools are there. So that's what. So you will be on a path or a learning path, so that this is a foundation for you. Okay. Uh yeah, Oluwase. Okay, so okay. So how can we pay, and who do we, with either person? Okay, any clarification? Um okay, so you're asking how we can pay. So yeah, you can go to this payment link which is already shared. Yeah, so that's the link. You can go to that and click on buy. So it will be redirecting you to the payment. Yeah, click on this buy course. So you have many modes of payment, right? So you can pay it in any one of the way. Syed Ali, actually scripting we won't cover. So I will try my level best to cover, because it's already prepared for like 20 hours or more than that. So we will see that. But as of now, the in syllabus part, we won't cover the scripting. Okay. Vila Sarpu, okay. Is not getting the PDF. Okay. So, okay, that's it. Maybe, okay, let me do the full link. Yeah, please do bookmark this link. And in next session, okay, so just go to this first directory or folder, this ISO and VMware, right? So for the people who are having the basic requirement for a VMware, which is at least one CPU core of free, means you have two CPU cores in your system, and I will show in a moment how to find that. And if you are having 2 gigs of RAM or memory and 20 gigs of hard disk. Okay, so these are all the basic VMware requirement, VMware workstation. So why? Because so if you're okay, first thing, let me show you how to find how many CPUs are there in your system. So just go to your right click and go to Task Manager, or you can right click your Windows key and go to Task Manager and go to this Performance tab, the next one, and go to CPU. So here you see the core count, right? So core count in my case it is 8, which is more than enough. So in your case, if it is 2, that is more than enough actually. So one will be used for your Windows, the another one will be we'll be using virtually. So that's what, at least one CPU core should be there in this section. Means two CPU cores, it should be visible here. And the in memory, so most laptops it is like 8 gigs is already there. So yeah, so this criteria and this one obviously it will be fine. So only the CPU core is the one. So please do check this one. So at least one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Michael, I did receive your mail. So I'll be checking the team. Okay. So that's what. So please do download this RH, RHEL hyphen 8.4 ISO. This is a huge file, by the way. It is around 9.4 gigs. So please do download this as well as this VMware workstation. So this is a paid version. So I'll be showing you how to install these two in tomorrow's session. Okay, so don't worry if you are having hard time installing. So I will be showing you every step how to install and initiate it. And for the people who are not having a stable internet connection, because it is a huge file, right? So if you're downloading and if there is any network down or network interruption in between, you need to download it again from first, because you can't continue downloading, right? So for them, you can download via the torrent. Okay, so this is another, it is a peer-to-peer connection. So you just type uTorrent and download using this one. Okay, so click on download now. So even this link I will send in the chat. Yeah, this is where you will check the CPU, Michael. Just go to the task manager, go to performance tab, CPU, and this core. This core is 8 in my case. In your case, it might be 2, 4, or 8 as mine. Yeah. So why I can't include this uTorrent is like that executable will be flagging in your Google Drive. So that's the reason I didn't include it here. So you just go to that. Yeah, you just download that. So for the people who are having hard time installing, or sorry, downloading this huge file for them only. Okay, so if it is interrupting or any issues, please try torrent. Okay, so why? Because it is a, okay, let me try to show you now only. Just a sec. 4, yeah, 4 core is more than enough, Michael. So we are good. Just a second, let me show this one. Yeah, so you'll be seeing dialog box this one. So I am using a different torrent client. So this won't be the same layout by the way, but it is the same concept. Or you can even use the same tool as well as I am using. Okay, so you see, if you are having any network issue also, it will be you can resume your download here. Okay, or if you are having internet download manager or any one of the like a download tool, you can use that. Okay, so why? Because in my previous session, many had an issue with downloading that huge file. So that's the reason. Okay, so it is the same ISO. So here it is 8.2 or 8.4. The version doesn't matter. It should be at least 8 or above. So you can even use 9, RHEL 9 also. It is the same. Okay, so yeah. So in either one of the way, please do please make sure you're downloading. And for the people who are having hard time downloading or installing, obviously in next session, I'll be showing you how to do that. Or there is already a PDF version of how to set up your VMware. If you're curious enough, you can right away set it up yourself, or you can wait for next session, which is tomorrow at the same time. So yeah. And the memory, it is at least 2 gigs, Leo. So memory in my case, it is 8. So memory, obviously, everyone would be, it will be satisfied because at least 8 is like a common now. But if you're having an old laptop, it will be 4 gigs. Memory, don't worry about that because Red Hat will be using very less memory only. Okay. So, and 20 gigs of hard disk. We will be using virtualization only, Michael. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to do the virtualization tomorrow. First thing, I should explain you what is virtualization, right? So if I can explain now, but it will extend the session. So we will see that tomorrow, and it is a lot to take in at the first session itself, right? So I'll explain you what is virtualization. We will be virtually using the all this hardware, right? So all our components will be using virtually. So yeah. So what is virtualization and what is containerization we'll be seeing in tomorrow's session. No, Sayed, if you're already having, that's great. So we can use that as well. So you can log in, right? So through your remote connection. So if you can, then we are good. Like any one of the remote connection, like a PT or PuTTY, any one. If you're using, we are good there. Okay. So is there any more questions? And as I told, so please do download, and any doubts you are still having, so you can reach out to the support team, and yeah, they'll get back to you. Okay, WhatsApp group, right? So just a second. So, is there any error you're receiving while joining Naseem through this WhatsApp group link? So if you're having any issues in the joining the link also, you can reach out to, okay, just a second. Can you try in a WhatsApp web if possible? Because it is opening for mine. Just now I checked. So this is what you will see. It is accessible. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And for the people who are having hard time installing or downloading any of this ISO, so you need not worry as well, so because uh, we'll be covering in the AWS or GCP. Okay, so you can do your lab session in those cloud providers as well. So don't worry about your lab in your personal machine only. You are not, there is no need for that. So if you are having hard time, because many do attend from your company laptop or your enterprise laptop. Okay, so yeah, so you can, so you need not worry. So we will be seeing how to install in the AWS as well. So yeah, that's great, Leela Sarku. Yeah. So is there any doubts, anyone regarding the session? If not, we can wind up the session. And that's great. There is a lot of interaction in the session. So that's what we need. So yeah, that's great. So I will put a word to the support team, Michael. So don't worry about that. Okay. I hope Michael is still there. Yeah. So yeah, if there is no doubts, so that's it for the day, guys. Then so tomorrow at the same time we can connect and yeah, we'll be seeing how to install, and I'll be explaining you what is the booting procedure. You don't have a personal laptop, so without, okay, so means you don't have any laptop or computer, any device, is it? Okay, Michael. Actually, we can't reschedule the timing, Syed. So if you are having any issues with the timing, there is a self-paced one. So I will be showing you how to enroll for that in tomorrow's session. Okay, so that's fine, Vilas Sarku. Okay, so you can use the company laptop, and in your company laptop, many companies do. So you just try this link if possible. I hope you're logged in now. So because many companies do allow AWS and GCP link, so cloud.google.com. So try any one of this link, because Azure, I am not preferring Azure because you need to pay for it. There is no trial as of now. So try one of these links and do let me know. Okay, so Sai, actually, you paid for the course. Okay, so if you paid for the course, you can join the Zoom link, Sai. Okay, that's great, Vilasat. Okay, so uh, so your lab session will be on GCP or AWS. It can be either one. You can choose. So yeah, that's great, because many companies nowadays, they are not restricting the cloud service providers, and they are encouraging you to experiment that, right? So yeah, so that's great. So Sai, you can use the same Zoom link. Okay, so and for the paid candidates, you'll receive an email for the new Zoom link. Okay, so yeah, and Syed, so the timing we can't change, as I told. So you can, I will show you how the recording self-paced one works. It is the same session only, so don't worry about, okay, it is not covered or so. It will be the same. So yeah, you can reach out to the support team if possible, because you need to wait for tomorrow's session. If not, you can reach out to the support team. So yeah, so yeah, so that's it for the day, guys. Then so thanks for joining the session. Nothing, Sai. So you just you just join the Zoom link, same Zoom link for tomorrow session as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the day then. Thanks all for joining. So let's see in tomorrow session. Okay. It is a demo session, Fame. Okay. So from tomorrow we'll be starting the session. Okay. So yeah, thanks for your time and have a great day. Bye-bye. So payment. Okay. So just a second. Yeah. Thanks, Vilasakam. Thanks, Michael. You can go to this link for the payment thing.